Good morning and welcome to Business Spotlight. I'm with Kaleb Hilleary with Primerica, and my name's Sean Hess with ActionCOACH here in Columbus, Ohio. So Hillary, or Kaleb, sorry.
I go by either.
Yeah. Um, Tell us a little bit about yourself, who you are, and why you do what you do.
So I am a senior representative with Primerica. I've been with the company for about 2.5 years now. Just recently moved down here to the Columbus area. Started off in a smaller part of Northwest Ohio. And why I do what I do, I realized that when you make dumb financial decisions, it hurts. Life kind of sucks sometimes. And it dawned on me that I really didn't know what I was doing with my own personal finance. People get into the student loan debt and the different things that you really shouldn't be getting involved with, but nobody really tells you those things until after it's too late a lot of times. So that was really how I got started with this, is just, making my own mistakes. And I came to find out about this company through a friend of mine. Her husband actually reached out and talked to me while I was still going to, in college. And later on, a couple years later, I decided that, okay, what I was doing wasn't working, and I started looking for a better way out, to where I could learn my own personal finance, do better with it, and then also teach others to do the same. There's a little bit about me. So Primerica, what it is, the company's been around since 1977. It is a very large financial services company that gives just kind of everyday people an opportunity to learn their personal finance and help others do the same with theirs. One of the best part-time opportunities that you're ever going to find. It gives you the opportunity to learn and build a business if that's what you want to do. We have a lot of reps that ended up staying part-time just because they love doing it part-time. They love their job. Maybe they're a teacher or something else where their passion is, but they also like having the opportunity to help out with other people when they run upon them.
Okay. So how can people learn more about that, about doing it part-time or becoming a rep?
Really, the best way is going to be to talk with one of the reps that are in the company. I believe we got about 130,000 reps, so it shouldn't be real hard to find us. But we don't do any paid advertising. Okay. Everything that we do is by word of mouth. I have pamphlets that I can give to people that request it, but there's so much information to cover. It's just better to talk with one of us.
Okay. The other questions that we have is, for us, we consider it target market, but who are you looking for? Who is your best customer?
Best customer. That's a really hard one there.
Yeah.
We kind of, everybody needs help with money. The technical company specs for, what is in market and what we use is going to be people that are married. So like young couples from the age of 22 to 55. They've got children in the home. They're responsible and they've got stable jobs. So, if we put anything into effect to make their life better, we want to make sure that they have the ability to do that for themselves. And that's probably really target market. But as far as, we've got the whole other side of things where we're also building up our teams. So that can be anyone that, that's 18 or older that just wants to learn finance because they don't know anything, or they want to, start another career because what they're doing doesn't work. And that, we've got some older representatives that, they're well past retirement, and that's what they like doing. They wanted to get the investment license. So there's a very broad range of people that we can work with.
Okay. And then from right now, during this time period, everybody is going through the COVID-19. There has been a lot of ups and downs for everybody. What's been the biggest impact for you and your business right now during COVID?
I would say that the fear of everybody meeting in person, that is the best way, in my opinion, to do this business is, face to face, sitting down at people's kitchen tables and having some of the hard conversations with them. For me, it's easier to connect over, face to face and actually being able to talk with them and let them know that you care. Because, being a financial advisor, I'll use that term very loosely, but technically I'm a investment advisor representative. So if we're being by the books on that, but if we're talking about people's finances, they need to know that you trust them and that you do genuinely care about them. And you're not just going to push a contract. And if it was for me, I wouldn't be doing this for any other company other than Primerica, just because of that aspect right there. But so the communication's a little bit different. The company has moved a long way in a short period of time, going from face-to-face meetings almost strictly to doing that to being, we're a lot more, what's the word here? We're a lot more we've adapted to be able to do our meetings on Zoom. We worked out the compliance stuff, especially in our own base shop, where we weren't really sure where the lines laid as far as doing the policies and doing the investments and all that, those types of things over Zoom. But with our compliance on there, we're able to work those details out. And now, if I've got a license in any state, I can pretty much use Zoom, to do that. I just have to get my license prior to that. So.
No, I definitely understand the face-to-face meetings and how impactful those can be, and you can connect with people, but being able to adapt to the Zoom and doing all the paperwork and due diligence through Zoom is a big step for you guys. Right now, what are 1 or 2 actions you've taken to make a difference for yourself and your family and your business? Anything that you've done right now during these times?
Well, we were very careful about how we use the the money. Sometimes people end up wasting the money that they got back from taxes or the stimulus check and all this. We were a little bit more intelligent, more than what we used to be in regards to using that money, because I ended up leaving and going back to my hometown because I was commuting to Columbus there for a while, and we were just wise about using the money. And when it came time to do that, we actually were able to get moved down here to Columbus so I can, have the family closer. And also I'm here a lot more on just a day-to-day basis to do the team building and to do the follow-up with the clients and to be able to go out and search and find more people to help.
Okay. One of the things that's been said is smart people learn from their mistakes, but a wise person learns from the mistakes of others. What's something that you would say that you've learned from your own personal mistakes that you can help another person be a little bit wiser in their endeavors in life?
That is a long list, my friend.
Yeah.
I would say one of the biggest things that I learned was with what I was doing prior to this, it wasn't required that I go out and be a people person. And I loved people, but I just kind of stayed away from them, just, lack of complication, all this. But I should have been more, neighborly. I should have been reaching out to people more, regardless of whether I was doing business or not, just to have those relationships built, because you don't know when people need you, when you can help. So for me, I should have been out reaching out to people more and personal developing that way. When people sometimes people aren't receptive to, even just something as simple as friendship. And you got to work on you to know that, okay, it's not me, it's not me in this situation. I'm just, trying to be nice to whoever it is. But that was, for me, one of the big turning points that actually started making me a bit more successful in business, was being able to deal with people and to take rejection, even when somebody doesn't want to have a conversation. I mean, because really it's, dealing with people sometimes can be complicated. And for me, that was probably the biggest learning curve, was to get back in the groove of learning to deal with people on a day-to-day basis. And honestly, it's more fulfilling than what I was doing before, doing more of the manual labor type thing. And then learning from other people's mistakes, that kind of comes into our leadership and the way that it's set up within Primerica, because I've got my regional vice president, I have my regional leader upline. And they told me stories about different things that they have messed up on their journey, and that, that way I can learn from what they did and not do the same thing. And sometimes that compresses time frames and it helps, it can help you be more successful over a shorter period of time, just because there is, between the two of those guys, I mean, there's over 20 years of experience in this business that I can learn from.
So taking their mentorship,
absolutely,
learning from them, being open to their wisdom, and then also understanding where you need to improve yourself as well, right?
Yep.
Okay, last 2 ones. One of the last ones is, I know we kind of went over it kind of quickly, but is there anything that you would really want to get out for your side of the business to those that may be watching and listening to this?
Anything that I would want to get out? I guess if you're having financial troubles, don't feel embarrassed to reach out to people. because that's one of the biggest like taboo topics for whatever reason that people have gotten in society to where they're uncomfortable talking about personal finance. But that is one of the areas that I've found, even people that make, they make it in the middle of the six figures and they're still living paycheck to paycheck and they can't figure out what's going on. Search somebody out to fix that while you're young, because the compound interest and the time that it takes to really build wealth and to get you and your family free, it's better to do that when you're younger. When you're 25 years old and you still have almost 40 years until retirement, that's the time to figure out finances, not when you're 45, 55 years old, which is good to learn then, better late than never, but the sooner the better.
Yeah. So you guys, yourself and then the team, you guys just aren't taking people's money and putting it in finances. You're educating them as well, correct?
Absolutely. One of the things that I like to call my tool of integrity is our F&A, or what we call financial needs analysis. And that is our overall just financial plan that we do for clients. We don't charge to do that. And the reason being is if I'm going to come in and be a responsible advisor to you in your own finances, I need to know what's going on in the whole situation. I can't find out later on that you've got, 4 or 5 different debts and loans and things that we didn't take care of, because getting you out of debt is going to be one of the first steps that we can do to help you get on to bigger and better things and help kind of with the money mindset and just the habits.
Okay. And then the last question, and this one's more so just for positive. What do you find most inspiring today?
Most inspiring today. That's a good question there. What do I find most inspiring today? I guess just people adapting to change, doing the different business networking, like kind of how you and I met. I've seen a lot of different businesses that are adapting to the whole COVID situation, and, just seeing how people are, they're rolling with the punches and they're figuring out how to work business out and figuring out how to better themselves, even in the midst of all the chaos going on with the world that we're in right now. I mean, we all know that there's spikes in the chaos in the country and it'll go away and it kind of ebbs and flows. But just being able to see people make the conscious choice to achieve their goals and to keep plugging away even when things get hard. That's one of the things that speaks out to a lot of people as far as motivation goes, is seeing somebody else that overcame some obstacles.
That's awesome. Other than that, that's really going to wrap me up for today. Again, I want to thank everybody, and I want to thank Kaleb with Primerica and for joining us on this business spotlight. So everybody have a great day.